Welcome, and here is your introduction to week number 3 of Supervision and Staff Development. Tonight, we'll find out who will be vying for the Super Bowl rings. The first game starts around 3 and the last is around 6:30. Pretty bummed that the Pack didn't make it this far, but they sure put up a good fight last week. This week, my introduction will include a flashback to week number 2, summarizing what we discussed and explored through the readings and activities. I then will continue to outline the activities for this week, which will include a discussion forum and written assignment. You can expect to see at least one forum and one written assignment each week. Lastly, I don't want you to forget about the final assignment, your decision maker interview, which is due March 4th. Great discussions about Chapter 1. In our text, we discovered there are 3 main views that accompany the definition of leadership: position, as in the principal or superintendent; traits, being flexible, fair, and passionate, not born but made; and style, democratic, laissez-faire, and authoritative. The definition of a leader isn't necessarily one that focuses on administration or supervisors. Leaders are people who have a vision and create a culture or influence people in ways where others want to participate in making that vision come true. The text refers to a set of actions that make one a leader. Within a school situation, it takes multiple leaders to make visions happen. This reminds me of the phrase, "It takes a village to raise a child." It takes more than one person to be the catalyst of change for the good of children and their education. To be an effective literacy leader, you need to know the personnel you are working with and utilize appropriate interpersonal skills to address others, have literacy expertise, provide support when needed, be able to create a community of learning, and create a culture within your school situation where everyone is invested. Leadership within schools shouldn't be limited to a few. It should be shared among many. And I know I'm preaching to the choir here about this topic, but it is one in which we can sometimes feel defeated, but we need to remember to stay focused on that end goal of doing what is best for our students and education. The written assignment then focused on the different roles of leadership in a school situation. How teachers, literacy coaches at the elementary and secondary level, special education teachers, and principals all play a part in being leaders of a school community. Please make sure to hit the submit button so your assignment is officially turned in. Some are showing up in draft form, and I want to make sure you are turning in your final thoughts before I assign a grade. This week's discussion forum will be similar to a spiral review from all we have reflected upon from the beginning of the course. The difference is you'll be sharing those ideas with one another this round. For this forum, I would like you to read the journal article found on Moodle, which discusses the role of the reading specialist in the RTI era. Synthesize information from this article with information reflected on and discussed in the first weeks of class in a discussion forum with 3 guiding questions. The depth of thought in this forum should be evident and critical as well. Therefore, the forum will be worth double the points of the basic discussion forum, and initial posts should have a minimum of 300 words. Replies should be made to 2 people with a minimum of 200 words in those replies. Please use pseudonyms when referring to people in your district, or simply refer to their role in the board so that we can stay professional in our discussions. First, posts should be made by Thursday and replies completed over the course of 2 days by Sunday. The written reflection this week will focus back on the text reading, which discusses programs at every level of literacy, as well as reading the ILA's position statement on adolescent literacy and following a link to developmentally appropriate practices. This written reflection surrounds certain guiding questions to drive your reflection. I'll be using the rubric to grade this assignment, which is due Sunday at 11:55 p.m. As my parting thought, I wanted to remind you of the final assignment, the interview. This will remain under week number 1, and you may get sick of me reminding you about it, but I don't want it to be skipped since it is a culminating assignment and worth 100 points. Work on it at your own pace and turn it in anytime as long as it is completed by March 4th. Many of you have set up times and started your interviewing of those in charge of making decisions for your school district. This concludes our introduction presentation. Have a great week and do great things.